want you to love yourself to the point that you don't allow anybody to treat you in such a way that feels anything less than love. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me again, Tiffany, and thank you for clicking on this video. If you are new here, I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for keeping up with me. I know that it has been a long while. And while it has been a long while, and I know I have some viewers that loves to see my content, to watch my ministry, and as well as watch my vlogs. So I know I owe most of you all, the faithful ones. I mean, everybody, but the faithful ones specifically, I know I owe you guys an apology because every time I'm gonna come back, I'm go. But we're gonna get into that because you and I are going to just sit down and chat a bit. You're going to be seeing a side of me that you probably don't know, because other persons don't know that I am the real deal. And while I might keep certain aspects of my life not secret but private, I can be very real. I can be very authentic. And I hope that this video is going to showcase that. So just pretend like it was me at one song in our room, and we just go talk. We're just gonna talk and just we'll spread the bed before we lie down and sleep. All right? All right. So I am sitting in my daughter's sofa right now. Basically, they're grown. Yeah. Because we're going to get comfortable and just chit chat. I don't have a mic as it, so that's why you see the AirPods in my ears, because I hit a mic to make sure that you guys are hearing me clearly. All right, let's get into the video. So I'm going to be introducing myself or reintroducing myself. I wrote down some I wrote down some things that I am going to be talking about on my phone just to reintroduce myself a bit. Yes. And all of that before I want to start doing vlogs again, start doing singing videos and so on. But I think it is fair that I just have a little sit down talk, because this is something I enjoy. Just sitting down, talking, sharing experiences, and all of that here. Mm-hmm. All right. So if you are new here, I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for keeping up with me. Thank you for being patient with me. I have been navigating into life, different seasons of life, or the different seasons that life brings. And I have been adjusting, readjusting, adapting, and all of the in them. Yes, I have been doing so with the help of God. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get into the video. Because we don't want the video long and chatty and boring. Remember, say, alone in the room, and we talk, me talk to you, and you talk back to me in the comments section. All right. So, hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Gilmore Miller. Do I get into who I am now, or we could start with story? So my name is Tiffany Gilmore Miller. I would have left off my married name, but it will come down. It will come into play down the rest of the video. So let's just set the tone from now. Tiffany Gilmore Miller. I am the second child of 4 children from my parents, 4 girls, and I am the second daughter. If you're looking at my notes, you know. Growing up, I believe persons now would think that I had an easy childhood, teenagerhood, judging based on what I showed them in my adulthood years. And I must emphasize what I show, because a lot of times we don't understand that people can choose what they show to the public and what they keep private to themselves. So other people, they think I had it easy. My sisters, not my sisters, one of my sisters, my big sister, she too think we had a life easy somewhat, but I beg to differ. Probably I make ungrateful. I don't know. I don't think ungrateful, but I just think that even though we were in one household, we all had our own experiences. I would say that of my four, of the four of us, myself and my three siblings, I would say I had life the hardest, the roughest. And it wasn't, a lot of times we are quick to blame everybody else except our own self. I am to be blamed. I'm going to take my fear blame as to why my childhood, teenagerhood, and my adulthood deemed rougher than my other siblings, in my eyes. Um, I, I wouldn't say I considered myself a mistake because I believe, based on what my mother told me, I would have been the child that God ordained. All right, that God wanted to be born because of for His divine purpose. Um, my mother told me stories that her and my dad, they weren't trying for a child because my sister is what, 3 years older than me, 3 years older than me. So maybe they wanted to bask in, parenthood before trying for another child. So I think she said that she was on the pill or whatnot. Yeah. But God instructed her to come off the pill, and because she was stopping purpose from being birthed. And so she came off the pill and I came into the picture. But it wasn't I'm gonna say it wasn't really their decision, my parents' decision, because as I said, she said that God gave her such instruction. Growing up in my baby years, I remember that I was mostly a tomboy. I would just do what the boys do. I would find every reason for that people had. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I was searching for. I don't know why it deemed necessary for me to find people yard, but I was just always absent where it was once it was family related. The other day, my sister sent pictures in our sister group, and she was sharing pictures of our childhood days and all that. And I realized I was absent in most of the picture because I was searching for what I don't know at the time. But I don't say this to bash anybody or for you to bash anybody, because let me tell you something. A lot of times we think our journey is so bad. We think our journey is the worst. But we don't understand that if we should focus on our journey, we will never get to the destination that God has prepared for us. The focus is never on the journey. It's always on the final destination, the promise, the purpose. Um, so yeah. I grew up and I would think it is I always think it is safe to say that I was the least favorite child. People might contest that, but that's how I felt at the time, that I was the least favorite child. And a lot of times, the Bible says, "So a man think it so easy." A lot of times, because we think something to be so, even if it's not so, we start believing that it is so. our actions reflect that it is so. Our conversations, you know, it surrounds that it is so, even if it's not so. But because we think it, we start operating and we start allow it to basically navigate or govern our life because that is what we believe to be so. I grew up feeling like I was least favored. The other day I was sharing with my sister different situations growing up that would justify that I was really least favored. But um you see, in life, we need to understand that our actions too plays a big, a great role in how people react to us. I was rebellious. The very moment I realized or felt like I was least favored, I started to rebel. I was disrespectful to my parents. I would curse on my sisters, beat on them. I'd let me beat them, you know? Me beat them every chance to get me beat them. And it wasn't even that my parents did not beat me. Um, so yeah, I went to high school still feeling like I didn't belong in my family. You know, I just felt like I was not loved, I was not needed, and I just started to behave as such. Like I would just go about searching for others to love me, for others to regard me, for others to accept me. Because I just say, I watch my trees. I just felt in my mind, me I watch my three sisters, them I get love, I get attention, and I wasn't getting that. One thing, and I'm like, oh, ball. You see, if you make me ball, don't feel like you're powerful because you know how to make me ball. Anyways, but yeah, I went started high school. I just always the people. I always I try to search for love, search for acceptance, search for somewhere where I belong, and that's why I always the prepared. I was searching for a mother. I was searching for a father. I was searching for sisters because I never felt growing up like I had that familyhood. Never felt like I had that. And in high school, my mother would try. She would try so much to love me, but I would never accept it because I just always felt like it was the love that was left. You know, I feel like it was like the barrel bottom, like the what left. I never felt like it was the fresh love. I felt like it was the watered down love. But she loved me. I was just hard to love. It was hard for me to accept love from my parents and my sisters. I met adults then that I would have deemed mother figures in my life. Some abuse it, but there was one in particular that loved me genuinely with a motherly love and still do to this day. And I am grateful for that. Um, I search for love everywhere I can think of. But I lie. I mean, I go everywhere. But I search for love in homes, in church, at school. I searched for love. But I have grown. I will have reached a part of regret. I don't know. Maybe you're searching for love. Someone to love you, someone to accept you. But I am introducing you to Christ. There's no love that is greater than the love of God. And if I had known that, then maybe it would have been easier for me to accept love from this the second source that love should have came from, because after God and all the church, it's the family. It's the family. And I had friends in high school. I never did a bad person. I wasn't a bad person. I would never keep bad. People did afraid of me. I was bitter. Jesus, bitter, 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 or bitter. It is Cersei. I was bitter. You look at me, I say bitter. You talk to me, I say bitter. Like, it was distasteful. But there were persons who understood me, and there are friends I met in high school that could relate to what I was going through. Like, we had similar situations, so we could relate. And I thank God for those friends. Some of them we're still friends today. So it was a strong foundation where the friendship was concerned, because we're still friends today. I mean, we have hiccups and we're both two away. Time we never talk, but we are still friends now. So that be the glory. And I think we'll forever remain friends because we're at our most mature state now. All right. So in high school, grade academically, I never normally did bad. I could have done better in high school, but I believe, based on situation at home and all of that, I did not do my best academically, but I did not do bad. In grade 11, I remembered I would be so disrespectful to my mother. I did not have a relationship with my father. So that is why you'll hear me talking more about my mother, because at this point in my life, I disregarded my father. I just live my life like I never had a dad, even when he did that mind me. But yeah, I was going through stuff. Yeah, young people, respect your parents, even though sometimes they might say things that you don't agree with and you think they're being strict or they're being unfair. Still be respectful, because if I had listened to my mother and my father, I would have not gone through a lot of things that I did. Even though I believe I went through them for a reason, if I had a choice not to go through them, I would have chose not to. So if you can just for it's not forever, you know, just be respectful, just be humble, and just be a child. Just be a child. Move it on. In grade 11, um, my mother, she paid for my CXC. Regardless of me being disrespectful to her daily, disregarding everything they say and I do. And one thing, she paid for my CXC. May God. And she continued to rest in peace. I became close with a father figure, still close with him, a true father figure. One that was not only able to help offer fatherly advice, but one that was able to pray for me and offer me spiritual guidance as well. And I think that saved me in so many different ways. It is important as young people that we have some Christian young people that we have some form of spiritual backup. Because if it is just on us to really survive, we are probably bound to backslide. Because it's just that phase where you're naive, you're ignorant to so much, and you just need some maturity, some spiritual maturity to really hold you up. All right, let's move along because we don't want the video long. Anyways, we're getting somewhere. We soon wrap up the message. So, in grade 11, my mother paid for my CXC subjects, but graduation would have came before CXC results at that time. And I remember I was so disrespectful to her that she decided that she wasn't going to fund my graduation when it was due, that is. And I remember a teacher I met who played motherly role in my life and still does today. She made sure I graduated. Was it that she never? No. I think she paid for my mother paid for the graduation, but I don't remember what it was that I needed for the graduation that she decided that because of my behavior she wouldn't do. Because that's my mother. My mother believes that if you want opportunity for behave yourself and if you have manners, which is true, you can't want parents to give you things and you not have no manners, even if you have manners, right? So she didn't pay for something, but the teacher, the teacher that became a second mother to me, she paid for my she paid for my nails, she bought me new shoes and so on. Yeah, it's like for the graduation. Graduation came, I graduated. And then see, I didn't achieve any outstanding, awards or anything for graduation. Because as I said, I don't believe me did I believe I could have done much better, but I just believe that I was not in the best environment to do so, in the state of mind to do so. But anyways, I did 860 and I got 7 of the 8, and everybody did surprise. Everybody didn't know that I get none because yeah, I was a mess. I was a mess. But so how surprised my mother and father was at the time that me passed 760. They sent me straight to college the following September. And I said, "What? You? Yes, me? I can do it, Am I facing?" And I said, "Chat, but we can do it. Can do the work." Yes. So they sent me to college in St. Anne Money the following September. My mother funded it. I mean, I still don't know how. Like, I still don't know how she did it. Because life was rough. Life was rough for us. So my sister said otherwise. But I believe her because she married young and married young, she really get the part of the rough life. You understand? Yeah. But they sent me to college and I wasn't doing bad in college. My behavior changed to some extent. I guess because I was not in that environment anymore. My behavior changed. Um I was doing good in college, but a lot of things were happening in my family internally. I enough something at the time, and I wasn't able to go on to second year of college because of financial reasons and other reasons. So I basically dropped out of college. I sit out that year, and then the following year, my mother tried her best to have me go back, even though I sat out a year. But I was just not. My behavior started to change. It was like a relapse. It's like I went back to that person that I was. I s- I was becoming that Tiffany again. Um, a lot of things happened in my life in within that time frame, from leaving school to dropping out of college, going back to college, still didn't get to finish. A lot of things happened, a lot of heartbreaks, a lot of hurt, a lot of enough something. Um, my mother and our relationship got better, but my dad and me and my father just for the great mental. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know, I just never did have respect him. It was just so hard when I think about everything that I missed out on, that I saw my siblings got. And I was like, no. But I love that man down now, No. But back then, no. It just never did that work. But yeah, I never loved myself. It was so hard for me to accept love that I started hating my own self. And because I never loved myself, I allowed people to treat me exactly how I felt about myself. God wanted better for me. God wants better for you. God wants you to love yourself to the point that you don't allow anybody to treat you in such a way that feels anything less than love. And love is perfect. Love is pure. And anything that feels anything less than that, God does not want it for you. So I passed high school. I failed at my first attempt in college. And after that, I was just at home, juggling jobs here and there wherever I could get it. And then my mother was overseas at this time when one morning I just woke up and I said to my mom, I think that was like probably 2 years after my college misfortune. I text my mother and I said to her, I am going back to college. Yeah, when I go back to college, I don't know how. If I have to take student loan, I don't know. But I am going back. And long story short, she funded my entire 4 years of college. Not only that, but she allowed me to go on the J1 program three times, 3 of the 4 years, she allowed me to go on the J1 program where she also funded. And as well as I met another spiritual mother who also helped and all of that. But my mother was the main source of funding. God told my mother that he wanted to bring forth purpose, which is me, and to get to the fruition, to the mature purpose that God had for me. It took a lot of tears. It took a lot of heartbreak. It took a lot of mental struggle. But you got God saved me. You got God. So I went to college 4 years. I remembered my mother. I was old, 20 something, probably 24. Probably 24. I was still living with my dad. Still not the best relationship, but it was better. And my mother asked me if I wanted to live on my own. And I said I would, but I'm not working. I can't afford it. And I remembered my mother, she gave me my first bedroom set. And she said I should look somewhere to rent and she would pay the rent and she would fund my food and everything. And I was like, what? Like, I don't know. In my mind, I'm wondering if she's trying to make up for all the years that I was a child that I never felt, I never felt like I was loved. I never felt like I got the same opportunities that my sisters got. I don't know what was going through her mind, why she sent me to college for 4 years. But the thing is, should have done it for anyone else. Should have done it for Brit too. Should have done it for Steph because she did it for me and she did it for my youngest, Annie, as well. Every time when I see me detour, I do tears and I try to pick out. So I have to change topic, all right? But I got somewhere to rent and she paid the rent, she paid the light, she paid everything, she bought food. I was in my final semester of college at that time. And I remembered we found out that she had cancer. Long story short, in short order, we found out that it was stage 4 cancer. And I remembered I finished college and I passed all my courses. I finished with honors and it was time to take graduation picture, but she was in the hospital being isolated and I was not able to see her. And I said to her, in her state, in the state that she was in, I said to her, I'm not going to take any pictures because I don't have any money because I am looking at my provider. I am looking at the person that fund my life, and she's now in a critical condition, almost on her deathbed. And I don't, so that is not, graduating is no longer my priority. College is no longer my priority. None of them is something that matter to me. What matters is seeing you recover. And in her state that she was in, she said to me, go and take the graduation pictures. And she paid, in her state, she paid for the graduation picture. She paid for the graduation package. That's after we found out that her cancer wasn't, it was so harsh, it was stage 4 cancer. And I remembered, I think after I took the graduation picture, probably less than a week after that, we got the news that she passed away. She didn't even get a chance to see the graduation picture, but she forced me to take. And in my mind, I was doing that for her, you know, whatever made her happy. Because it was no longer about me, to be honest. God is just so intentional with everything that he does, because he knew that if this should have happened while I was in college, I would have dropped out again, But God is so intentional. But purpose can't die. Purpose can't die. And I graduated with honors. She didn't get a chance to see that success. But I did it for her. I did it for her more than I did it even for myself. And by the time I graduated, I got a job the following September, and I was able to pick up where she left off and fund myself. And the story I don't know, the story so long. My Christian walk went in the trench war. It suffered. I was playing upscotch today in, tomorrow I'm out. I was struggling spiritually. But I just made up my mind at that time that I'm not gonna leave church. So I still went, even though I was not living a life. I was not living the life. Not that. I was running up and down searching for Bamina. After I lost my mother, No, when I found out my mother was sick, I completely lost. Even before that, I started losing myself. I lost my best friend for years. The friendship just declined. It just went down. I was I just got to the good part of the story. I'm just to the good part of the story. So losing my mom. After losing my mom, I got a text one day. And the text was from somebody that I dated back then, that my mom met, my mom loved, and my mom prayed that someday he would marry her daughter, or one of her daughters, which I didn't have for me at the time. But I got a text, and the person was giving their condolence about losing my mother, and they were saying that they can't believe that she's really dead and all of that. And I just expressed thanks and I move on, because I was shutting everybody out at that time. I was shutting everybody out. And that is how I lost the relationship I had with the lady who was my second mother, as well as my best friend at that time. Like, I was just shutting everybody out. I was just hungry. I was upset with everybody, even God. Because I said, God, I don't want person I have. I don't want person I have been in my corner that. No one person when I could have count on him. Mm-hmm. So one day I got the text and it passed. The person sent gave the condolences and then weeks passed and then the person texted me back and said, they're around my area, you know, and they would love to see me again. And they would love to hang out with me or whatever. And I said, okay, even though I was in a very confused state of mind. I said, okay. And I met up with the person and we had a good little chat, a good little laugh. We went back into old memories and we just had fun. And I was saying that I haven't laughed that much in a long time because the person have great sense of humor. Know if make you laugh. So yeah. And we had good fun and then we go home and then the next day a person texted me and said, I want to hang out again. I would hang out again and we had good fun. And then months after that person asked me to marry them. Oh God, hey. I have to laugh about this. Got me ball too much. I have to make sure I'm laughing about. I have to make sure we have things to laugh about that me don't ball too much. Understand? But yeah, a couple months after, this person that my mother asked that my mother said that she hopes someday he gets to marry one of her daughters. He asked me to be his wife. And that is why, even though I'm so sad about my mother's death, I am happy she did not suffer. And she was the one that caused my now husband to reach out to me so that we could have reconciled. It's her death that birthed this awesome season of my life. That is why I know that when God takes, He gives something, He takes away something so treasured, something so valuable, someone so loved and so precious. It doesn't just take that, but it gives you something to suffice. It gives you something that even though it can't replace what you have lost, it can fill, it can fill a gap. And He gave me my amazing husband. Yeah. He gave me my amazing husband and I something happened that I never thought would have ever happened to me. I never thought that because I was so ruined, because I felt so ruined, like I felt like I was not deserving of good. Like I felt so hopeless in so many ways, like everything just done for me. But just then I felt like all hope was lost. God gave me my amazing husband to love me, to cherish me, to adore me, and make me know what real, true, genuine love is. They can't match to God love, but me tell you say close to it. Seriously, serious. Oh my word. That is just awesome. What next step on the list? We get to somewhere. Oh, and my father and I we made my father and I we started to have a healthy father-daughter relationship. It's better late than never. Delayed but not denied. So just want to touch that. So as my mother got married at my wedding, walking down the aisle and I looked around and I saw everybody except my mother. I cried. My ball. Because she deserved it. She deserves to see me married. Mina, she deserves to see the truth. God knows best. And then God has now blessed me with an adorable child, an adorable daughter. Pregnancy was so rough. The enemy tried so hard to stop this from being our end result, my husband and I, but God was in the midst and I could begin up right through. So now I will reintroduce myself. I am Tiffany Gilmore Miller, a child of God, one who loves God with her whole being. Doesn't mean my Christian walk is easy. I've stumbled, I struggle, even still struggling in some aspect of my spiritual walk. But it's just a made up mind that no matter what I go through, no matter what I'm faced with, I am not going to give up on God. I'm a wife and I am a mother. I love to minister. I love to sing. It gives me so much fulfillment. It gives me so much strength. When I take one mic, man, I say, yeah, time now, I'm different. It's like we're going a totally different character. My journey does not define me. Your journey does not define you. As a matter of fact, I believe God is getting ready to rewrite your story. God is getting ready to change your old book and give you a new chapter. One that is going to blow your enemy mind. One that's going to confuse the persons around you that bring you down daily. One that is going to transition you into a different realm, a different atmosphere, a different environment, a different season. I pray God continue to bless you. God continue to keep you. And I'll see you guys in my next vlogs, I know the video them, but I just had to do a sit down talk. Hope it's never boring. I hope the phone never leave the room before me done. I hope it stay with me. God bless you.